Please sit. Welcome, everybody. Madam Mayor, Councillor, ladies and gentlemen, fellow governors, and of course, pupils of Mill Hill School. I'm delighted to welcome Nigel Wray as our guest of honour and to present the prizes today. Mr. Wray is an Old Hillian who has had an inspirational career, and I shall say a little more about him later. I'd like to wish a special welcome to those pupils who left us in the summer term. We are delighted to be able to celebrate your successes and are thrilled that after 2 years of COVID-related disruption, the vast majority of you are attending your chosen university and course. Of course, COVID forced us to rethink many of our working and the Foundation Day for senior pupils, where we have the opportunity to focus on successes. As governors, our responsibility is to ensure the actions and activities in each school meet the Foundation's strategic objectives. And I just wanted to touch on a couple of those today. Our first strategic aim is to provide excellence in education. We are not there yet. But over the past year, there has been a tangible focus upon improving standards, developing rigour and consistency in the classrooms, and listening to pupils, staff and parents about how things can be made even better. Our academic staff are at the heart of this foundation. Their commitment, their hard work and their perseverance are commendable. And I would like to thank all of our existing staff for their contribution to the academic and broader educational successes of all of our pupils. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to the new members of staff joining us this term. It is great to see the school attracting such exceptional people. Last year, in my speech, I referenced our campus master plan that we hope will provide a new science building, indoor space for sport, a new dining space, and explore how we can move to a net zero carbon position. We're working through the initial proposals with Barnet Council, but it is clear it is going to take time because of the complexity of dealing with greenbelt and conservation issues. I hope we will soon be in a position to share these plans and invite views from you all. Big changes involve many small steps. So our commitment to conservation has started already and has included drilling our own borehole on the site to irrigate our sports pitches rather than using valuable drinking water. As a foundation, we continue to believe in the benefits of co-education. This year, we have continued to make positive progress towards our target of a 50-50 boy-to-girl ratio. And I'm sure many parents will have noticed the focus on 11+ and the deliberate reduction in the number of boys joining us at 13 to further improve this. We hope that the successes and achievements of our girls across the range of school life will increase the pace of change. As you know, education is about far more than passing exams, and we are committed to the aim of bringing out the best in every child and giving them the confidence to be themselves. Mrs. Sanchez and her senior leadership team are committed to ensuring that each pupil achieves that. We believe this approach is even more valuable after the pandemic in an uncertain and fast-changing world. I am delighted with our deepening relationship with the Old Hillians Club, providing our pupils opportunities for career guidance, mentoring and insight into later life. Finally, our last aim is to be active members of our local community and to make a positive contribution. I would like to share a few examples of our pupils' attainments. The Remove Community Action Group provided companionship to vulnerable residents of Barnet and built fantastic cross-generational friendships. Remove and Lower Sixth pupils assisted the Age UK ICT project, providing technical support from everything from keeping in touch with loved ones to online shopping. and our lower sixth pupils supported young people with autism and helped to facilitate their enjoyment of sport at the Stonex Stadium. Ensuring our schools achieve their objectives is a critical part of governors' responsibilities, but governors have to focus on the wider economic environment as well. Regrettably, the school is not immune to the high level of cost inflation or the unforeseen increase in electricity and gas prices. So I would therefore like to reiterate our thanks to all the parents who continue to prioritise their children's education at the Foundation. Thank you. I'd like to thank my colleague governors, all of whom have busy careers, but all of whom give extremely generously of their time to ensure the continued success of this foundation. During the last year, one of our long-serving governors, Sue Stoneham, has stepped down. And I would like to thank her, as well as pass on thanks to my colleagues, for her unwavering commitment and contribution. Many of our current pupils are past pupils of other foundation schools, so I would like to thank Mrs. Simon, Mr. Roberts, and Mrs. Bellotti for their incredible work at Grimsdale, Belmont, and Mill Hill, respectively. Earlier this year, we completed the legal process to add Lionsdown School and Keble Prep to the foundation. So I would like to welcome Mrs. Hall and Mr. Gill, who now join us alongside Mrs. Barrett from Cobham Hall in our expanded foundation. We believe that a bigger family of schools presents opportunities for sharing expertise and reducing risk, as well as ensuring we are efficient and financially resilient. I would like to thank the Foundation's CEO, Anthony Spencer, together with Sean Ryan, the Director of Operations, and Nikki Marlowe, the Director of Finance, for all their work and effort. Together, they have contributed to making sure our foundation continues to thrive. Mrs. Sanchez's contribution can be seen in every aspect of Mill Hill, and she continues to demonstrate her commitment to ensuring the senior school helps each child achieve their potential. Mrs. Sanchez, thank you for your energy and enthusiasm and your unwavering commitment to your staff and pupils. May I invite you to present your report.
Good morning. I would like to extend a warm welcome to you, Mr. Lipton, fellow executives, governors, staff, guests, pupils, and parents, as we gather to celebrate the successes of our most senior pupils across a wide range of talents and achievements, and to thank you all for your support over the past year. It is also fitting that I place on record my gratitude to all those colleagues who have supported the organisation of the day, which is always such a special occasion, masterminded so meticulously by Mr. Jim Dickin, my Deputy Head Pastoral. A special thanks must also go to my long-suffering husband, Raoul, without whose unwavering support this role would be impossible. It is my great pleasure also to welcome our guest speaker, Nigel Wray. Since leaving the school and Ridgeway House, Nigel has retained links with and love for Mill Hill, and I have very much appreciated his support over the years. I also had the pleasure of guiding his son, Joe, through Mill Hill many years ago. I'm delighted to say that Nigel's association with Mill Hill didn't end when Joe left the school, as his grandchild has recently started school at Grimsdale in Year 2 and will be moving to Belmont next year, ensuring that his family's legacy lives on. Today, we have an addition to the traditional Foundation Day programme, as we had in 2019, when former headmaster William Winfield opened our 8th day house, Winfield House. William is here today and will be meeting with some of the pupils, parents and staff present on that inaugural day later this afternoon. Immediately after this ceremony, we will be gathering to rename our girls' boarding house, named rather unimaginatively in the early days, New House. MacGregor, as it will be known henceforth, takes its name from the founder of the Mount, Mary MacGregor, who started the school in 1925 in a house in North Grove in Highgate Village, but which eventually moved to Mill Hill in 1935 on Milespit Hill. Miss MacGregor retired in 1963 following 38 years of service. But her commitment through those early years laid strong foundations for the success of the Mount as an all-girls school until 2014. At that point, it became the fourth school within the Mill Hill School Foundation, the Mount Mill Hill International, which opened its doors to pupils in 2015 under the leadership of Mrs. Sarah Bellotti. Mrs. Bellotti and I are delighted to be attending the renaming ceremony together with Mrs. Karen Justice, MacGregor's current house mistress, and some MacGregor House pupils. I'm delighted that Mrs. Stephanie Miller, herself a former Mount girl, the Vice Chair of the Court of Governors, and a foundation parent, will also be present. If you would like to join us, please do come along to MacGregor House at the end of these proceedings. It is entirely appropriate that at the start of my report, I pay tribute to Tony Binns, Assistant Head, External Relations, and a member of my senior leadership team, who tragically died at the start of the summer break. Tony served Mill Hill School and the Foundation loyally for 8 years, and during his time here, he made a significant contribution to the school's growth in pupil numbers, from around 650 in 2015 to its current figure of 886. A magnificent achievement by any measure, but even more remarkable given the challenges of recent years. In addition, his contribution to ensuring that the school's communications were of the highest quality was unquestionable, as was his commitment to promoting Mill Hill at every opportunity, at home or abroad, always seeking to attract children who would bring something special to the school and who in turn would benefit significantly from a Mill Hill education. Tony was an English teacher at heart, though, and his creativity with words knew no bounds, often turning functional language into pure poetry. Tony and I spent the last 12 months prior to his death researching and writing our article for the McClure Martlet supplement, an inspiring, joyous, and of course educational exercise as we shared our love of words, pored over the school's history, and jousted over how best to communicate McClure's legacy to a wider audience. I shall miss such moments. Tony endeared himself to everyone he met, and he leaves his mark upon us all. As a school community, we shall miss him for his achievements and his values, but mostly for the kind, generous, creative, and thoughtful man he was. Sadly, at the end of the summer holiday, I also received the news of the death of former headmaster Alistair Graham, who led the school from 1979 to 1992. A Cambridge Languages First and Mill Hill's first squash half-blue, Alistair's 13-year tenure is characterised for some as one of challenge, change and opportunity, whilst for others he offered a steadying hand on the tiller during a period of significant change. Mill Hill's current longest-standing member of the Common Room, Steve Plummer, teacher of classics and former housemaster of Priestley House, began his Mill Hill career when Alistair was in post and remembers him as an erudite, decent and witty man who worked hard to maintain boarding numbers and the provision of girls into the sixth form, including St. Bees House, a girls' boarding house at the time. He was also determined to maintain academic success at Mill Hill, as well as provide a traditional curricula of academia and sport. Mr. Plummer thinks he was also responsible for introducing a new tweed jacket as an addition to the school uniform, which came to be known affectionately as the bog jacket. He's unsure why it was so called, but perhaps its colour and texture had something to do with it. Sadly, I was unable to attend Mr. Graham's funeral, which took place in late August, falling as it did on GCSE results day. However, a good number of former staff and Old Mill Hillians were in attendance to bid their farewell to this much-loved former headmaster. Every summer, the Upper Six Leavers book reminds me of the transformative effects of a Mill Hill education between entering the school in the fourth form and heading off after A-levels. At this Foundation Day, we will be presenting awards in recognition of individual achievements across a range of academic and co-curricular fields. That said, all our pupils are encouraged to achieve success, and I have every confidence that those not receiving prizes today have their own personal aspirations and achievements to build on in the coming academic year. I'm immensely proud of every pupil here today and of those unable to be here, not just for their own personal achievements, but for the resilience they have shown together in facing the challenges of the pandemic, which for this group of young people have been unprecedented. And I do not wish to suggest that every personal challenge will have been overcome, or that we are, as it were, out of the woods just yet. Looking back on the academic year, my own sense is that the autumn and spring terms were among the most challenging of recent years, and only in the summer term did we start to feel as if we were on the road to recovery. Now, as we enter the new academic year, school life has begun to resemble the Mill Hill of old, which is wonderful and certainly something to celebrate. I'd now like to introduce the first musical item. As part of our response to the pandemic, we were compelled to think creatively about how music would continue to function during a time when so much music was being cancelled. The idea for chapel strings, a then temporary replacement for the chapel choir, was one of those ideas born out of that need that now continues to thrive. I'm delighted that members of the chapel strings, led by one of the music graduate assistants, Mr. Sieberts, will now perform Henry Purcell's Rondeau from Abdelaziz. Thank you. Thank you. I firmly believe that a Mill Hill education provides exceptional breadth and balance, equipping pupils for life now and in the future through the numerous activities, experiences and opportunities. Looking back at the last year, there are so many examples of pupil achievement and independence of spirit, both inside and outside the classroom, reflecting the ethos at the heart of all that we do. So much has been achieved on the academic front across all age groups. Face-to-face teaching is now thankfully back in the classroom with an added focus on our digital strategy, one of the few positive impacts of lockdown. Academic extension activities are up and running, with pupils engaging in myriad opportunities for academic and personal development. Educational visits, day and residential, at home and abroad, have once again begun and are providing a much needed and welcome stimulus for learning post-pandemic. Those pupils sitting A-level and GCSE examinations in 2022 certainly demonstrated that hard work, focus and determination to overcome multiple challenges after this period of disrupted learning have borne fruit. They achieved an outstanding set of results by any measure, setting themselves up perfectly for the next stage of their lives and proving to be wonderful role models for our younger pupils. Indeed, we are delighted to be able to celebrate what are ultimately amongst our most successful A-level public examination results on record. More than 1 in 5 grades achieved the coveted A-star, with 46% at A-star A and 75% at A-star to B. These compare highly favourably with the national averages of 36% and 62% respectively. An incredible 26 pupils achieved at least 2 A-star grades in their results, with scores more pupils achieving at least 1. This success has been mirrored in leavers' destinations. A total of 76% of pupils will be proceeding to their first or second choice of university, and most other pupils have sourced excellent courses through clearing, some even securing more coveted places as the result of their exam success. The destinations of leavers are a rich and varied mix. We are delighted to celebrate successful applications to Oxford and Cambridge, as well as high numbers of pupils heading off to Loughborough, Nottingham, Leeds, Manchester and Bath, universities all notable not only for their academic strength, but their rich cultural and sporting programmes. In total, pupils will be taking places at 48 different UK institutions. But once again, our pupils' interests spread beyond the country's borders, and Mill Hillians next year will be found in Switzerland, New York, and Berklee College of Music in Boston. Our Oxbridge pupils are going up to read ancient and modern history at Queen's College, Oxford, and history at Trinity College, Cambridge. 2 pupils will be embarking on careers in medicine, whilst others have chosen an exciting and diverse range of degree choices, ranging from the more traditional subjects to courses in adult nursing, international hospitality management, songwriting, and trading and shipping. For those pupils not going directly to university this year, an exciting range of careers, jobs, and gap years await. A-level examination success was mirrored in our GCSE results, where 19% of all grades were awarded at the highest grade of 9, with 38% of grades awarded at 9 and 8, and 60% awarded 9 to 7. In terms of pupils achieving the nationally recognised standard pass of grade 9 to 4, 98.5% of results met the standard, compared to a national average of 73% and 92.5% in the independent sector. 17 pupils achieved 9 or more passes at grade 8 and above, a truly outstanding achievement. I want to put on record how proud I am of all of our pupils who have overcome unprecedented challenge to succeed in their examinations this year. But I also want to applaud the exceptional levels of support and guidance of parents, guardians, and of our academic and support staff. You have been quite simply magnificent. I think a round of applause is due. Thank you. For those pupils here today, the shorter-term future now includes the prospect of A-level preparation, whether you have just entered the lower or upper six or embarking on a university degree, gap year, or work experience. But with steadily increasing life expectancy, your longer-term future promises to stretch ahead of you like no other generations. Your academic endeavours and learning measured through public examination will, of course, form part of the foundation for your long-term future success. But in this age of new technologies, multiple communications platforms, and a rapidly evolving employment landscape, many other skills and qualities will be required. And it is my firm belief that this is just what a Mill Hill education provides. The school magazine, due to be published in time for our October Foundation Open morning next week, illustrates this beautifully, reflecting on a year of recovery over the past 12 months, on a school finding its feet and seeking to reboot after the global pandemic, and of a community celebrating the many and varied opportunities for leadership and teamwork, so crucial for developing those soft skills. Examples of Mill Hill pupils engaging in myriad co-curricular activities and demonstrating an impressive commitment to life beyond the school gates, preparing pupils outside the classroom for life beyond Mill Hill, are plentiful. From the pupil-directed high school musical, which played to packed houses, to the Eureka competition, a pupil-led Dragon's Den-style event, there were numerous examples of pupils taking the lead or, just as importantly, working as a team. The continued growth of the CCF was another triumph for those pupils involved, as were the many successes on the sporting field, with inter-house drama, community action programs, pupil committees and societies, and the chapel choir being further examples of outstanding pupil involvement and achievement. The list is endless. The school magazine also dedicates several pages to the events that took place last year to commemorate the centenary of the death of Mill Hill's longest-standing headmaster, Sir John David McClure, whose 31-year tenure at the helm lasted from 1891 until his untimely death in 1922. The McClure Centenary Chapel service in his chapel, tree planting ceremony outside his music school, and Kenwood-style outdoor concert on Top Field in June brought together pupils, parents, staff, and Old Mill Hillians from across the foundation and the wider community. What a wonderful day, coupled as it was with Old Mill Hillians Day, providing a fitting end to a year of remembrance of one of the school's most successful headmasters, aka the maker of Mill Hill. For me, the opportunity to celebrate the life and legacy of Sir John was indeed a significant highlight, and following in his footsteps on a tour of the regional Old Mill Hillian dinners and lunches in Cardiff, Cambridge, Exeter and Manchester was particularly enjoyable. What struck me most at these events was the diversity of talents, interests and ages, with Old Mill Hillians in their 20s to one who joined in 1949, but also the strong sense of unity, of belonging and of shared values, a thread which links Mill Hillians through the generations. I recently read the book, The 100-Year Life, Living and Working in an Age of Longevity, in which the authors make much of the soft skills necessary for success beyond school, such as mental flexibility and agility, skills which are intrinsic to a Mill Hill education. They also reflect on the importance of a network of close professional relationships with people who have mutual trust, who coach and support each other, introduce each other to their network, and are prepared to give important and invaluable advice. What better description could you ask for of the Old Mill Hillians Club? whether through its professional networking events, its social gatherings, or the opportunity to access this remarkable global community. And having seen firsthand the benefits derived by those pupils who have taken advantage of such opportunities, I am certainly one of the club's greatest supporters, as is Nigel, who first played and then captained the Old Mill Hillians rugby and cricket teams, and is also a wholehearted supporter of the club. 3/4 of the way through the speech is an excellent point to change the mood. Take a sip of water and show off some more of our pupils playing another musical item. Performing Earth, Wind and Fire's September, please welcome our saxophone ensemble, Ollie, Lana, Charlie and Ruhan, ably led by another of our music graduate assistants, Abby MacLeod. As we reflect on McClure's legacy and the way in which it remains alive today, it strikes me that what motivated him above all was a profound love for this remarkable school, which he did so much to develop, and for these beautiful grounds in which it is set, a love which I feel no less keenly. He would have walked every day through the trees on the Head's lawn, from his house, which later became St. Bees, to his study. The trees themselves being the legacy of the botanist Peter Collinson, who planted them over 250 years ago. How privileged we are to study, work, and play on this site. Although, of course, the trees on the school site have been drawn into sharp focus in recent weeks, taking on a particular poignancy given the announcement of the Queen's death on the 8th of September. In June, during her Platinum Jubilee, we remembered the Queen's visit to Mill Hill in 1957 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of the school's foundation by planting an Acer tree to mark this significant milestone in her reign. The tree is directly opposite the Cedar of Lebanon, planted by Her Majesty during her 1957 visit, which still stands majestically on Top Terrace, and which has provided a focal point for pupils in recent days as we have mourned our individual and collective loss. What head could reflect on our pupils seizing of the many opportunities on offer or creating opportunities of their own with anything other than pride? Indeed, I am always moved by the transformative effects of this Mill Hill education as we work together to help pupils negotiate that adolescent tunnel. I have no doubt that Sir John David McClure would have very much approved of the Mill Hill of 2022, and his spirit lives on with us today. He too was immensely proud of his pupils and stuck firmly to his belief that a Mill Hill education is about adopting a genuinely holistic approach. As I enter my 20th year at the Mill Hill School Foundation and 5th year as head of Mill Hill School, I share with Sir John a love of the foundation and what it stands for, nurturing the potential of every pupil, seeing the best in you, and in doing so, guiding you to become the best versions of yourselves. Everyone encouraged to find their passion, however niche, and to be comfortable in their own skin. Strangely, though, I enjoy the notion that we as a school are preparing our pupils to leave, and the symbolic release of the doves as a culmination of our valedictory celebrations for our upper six leavers is particularly fitting in this respect. Although, like the doves, there is a strong homing instinct which brings back many of our pupils to Mill Hill events, having made enduring connections and friendships along the way. Just as those old Mill Hillians from the classes of 52, 62, 72, 82 and 92 are doing at this very moment as they enjoy a special lunch in the dining hall today. There is little doubt that McClure would be the first to insist that what we refer to now as his legacy depended on the support, efforts, and inspiration of those around him, and that is no less true today. As he says in a speech to the Old Mill Hillians, who unveiled the portrait of him in 1912, which still hangs in the dining room, all had the same object in view, and we were working towards the same end. My key message today to every single pupil is that you are, in your own unique way, contributing to the Mill Hill legacy and to your own, each and every day. You are our future leaders. So set your bar high. Let moral integrity and strong values be your guide. Face life's challenges with resilience and fortitude. Share your journey and connect with others. But most importantly, be kind, open-hearted, and inclusive, and you won't go far wrong. Et virtutem, et musas. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Sanchez, for your excellent report. And I'd also like to thank the performers in our two musical interludes, who I thought were absolutely brilliant. So thank you. I hope that everyone associated with the foundation should be proud of the achievements and successes Mrs. Sanchez has outlined. But now, on to our guest speaker. It gives me enormous pleasure to welcome our guest of honour, Nigel Wray. Nigel is widely recognised for his track record of successful investment in privately and publicly owned businesses, including high-profile names such as Domino's Pizza and Burford, a company he built alongside another Old Mill Hillian, Nick Leslau. He is also well known for his instrumental role in transforming Saracens from playing in a park field into one of the powerhouses of European rugby. He did all of this while at the same time running a series of programs for disadvantaged groups. The Saracens Foundation has delivered life-changing projects in prisons, pupil referral units, and community centres, including sponsoring the Saracens High School down the road. I hope it gave him great pleasure to watch the Mill Hill girls play the Saracens High girls at rugby on Topfield earlier this year. I'd now like to ask Mr. Wray to present the prizes. Thank you.
Last year's senior monitors have returned this morning, and in recognition of the superb work that they carried out during the last academic year, I would like to present Hannah Hyman and Cahill Oriagba a picture of the school. I'm delighted that many of last year's Upper Six have come back today to receive their prizes in person. Some have already gone to start their university studies and are therefore unable to be here. The citations for the prizes are written in your programme. I will therefore only announce the name of the prize and the prize winner. The Old Mill Hillians Club President's Prize, a Heads Prize, the Citizenship Award, the Aguila Salva and the Upper Sixth Form Prize for Religious Studies are awarded to Hannah Hyman. The Old Mill Hillians Club Prize, a Heads Prize and the Nicholas Proper Cup are awarded to Cahill Oriagba. The Ramsey Award, a Heads Prize and a Mill Hillian Award are presented to Rachel Cummings. A Heads Prize and a Mill Hillian Award are presented to Jack Baruch. A Heads Prize and the Old Mill Hillians Livery Association Upper Sixth Form Prize are awarded to Ella Conway. A Heads Prize, the Old Mill Hillians Senior Literary Prize and the Upper Sixth Form Prize for Classical Civilization are awarded to Jack Curtis. A Heads Prize and the Upper Sixth Form Academic Endeavour Prize are awarded to Aaron Ersahin. A Heads Prize, the Old Mill Hillians Lodge Prize for Geography and the Sam Duckworth Award for a Sixth Form boy are presented to Jed Lewis. A Heads Prize and the Upper Sixth Biology Prize are awarded to Dina Mandel. A Heads Prize and the Swin Prize for Graphics are awarded to Sienna Turner. A Heads Prize, the Upper School Co-Curricular Drama Award and the Award for Co-Curricular Leadership and Commitment are presented to Harry Weymouth. Heads Prizes are awarded to Benjamin Bergman, Emily Kornitsky and Reggie Heward. The Alison Hampton Memorial Prize and the Busher Speech and Drama Prize are awarded to Anna Stojanovic. The Hamilton Bailey Memorial Prize and the G. Ainsworth Waits Prize are awarded to Toby Skelly. The Simpson Memorial Prize and the Fifth Form Prize for Physics are awarded to Tolawani Adilaja. The Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Cowing Award, the James Berwin Presentation Sword, and the Lower Sixth Form Academic Endeavour Award are presented to Alexander Kukiara. It gets me every time. The Middlesex Regiment Prize is awarded to Juliet Merle. The Anant Parekh Prize for Academic Achievement, the Langford Prize for Design, and the Upper Sixth Form Prizes for Further Mathematics and Physics are awarded to Nathan Simon. Well done, Nathan. The Junior Old Mill Hillians Literary Prize and an exhibition for English are awarded to Sonny Stringer. The Old Mill Hillians Livery Association Sixth Form Prize for History is awarded to Jack Osler. The Alan Phimister Prize for History is awarded to Thomas Powell. The Alan Phimister Prize for History, a scholarship for English and history, and an exhibition for sport are awarded to Benjamin Kramer. The Eric Dangerfield Senior Prize for Mathematics is awarded to Samuel Seaman. The Eric Dangerfield Junior Prize for Mathematics, the Fifth Form Prize for Biology, and a scholarship for Biology and Chemistry are awarded to Ishani Shah. The Arthur Jubber Memorial Prize for Science and the Senior Sire Prize for Strings are awarded to Joshua Cohen. The Gregory Prize for Chemistry and the Fifth Form Prize for Spanish are awarded to Edgar Gibson. The Junior Sire Prize for Strings is awarded to Tommaso Lombardo. The Senior Richard Lister Franks Prize is awarded to Oliver Pelham. The Junior Richard Lister Franks Prize and an exhibition for sport are awarded to Edward Boyd. The Sixth Form Choral Prize and the Lower Sixth Form Prize for Music are awarded to Megan Thompson. The Walter Isaac Prize for Music is awarded to Lana McIntosh. The English Gundry Junior Prize for Original Musical Composition, the Musical Technology Prize, and a Scholarship for Computer Science and Design Technology are awarded to Ruhan Verma. The William Parkin Music Prize, a Scholarship for Musical Performance, and an Exhibition for Mathematics are awarded to Adam Geller. The Upper School Award for Commitment to the Music School is presented to Charlie Smith. The Senior Pierce Prize for Art is awarded to Amy Grayson. Gemini Art Prizes for Collage are awarded to Abigail Shapiro and Beau Freeman. The prize for a portfolio of drawings and an exhibition for art are awarded to Grace Cansfield. The Otto Kellerman Memorial Prize for Design and Technology Innovation and the Fifth Form Prize for Design Technology are awarded to Kirill Seaton. The Alan Toulson Cup is awarded to Max Moore. The Roger Graham Award for IT is presented to Angelo Lindup. And the Acting Award is presented to Adam Cansfield. The Zach Permott Award is presented to William Orme. The Harvey Cup for Charity Fundraising is awarded to Anastasia Terelecki. The Angela Rumbold Prizes for Leadership are awarded to Manish Thapa and Alfie De Popolo. The Anupa Soni Award is presented to Lenny Caulfield. The Unsung Hero Award and the Lower Sixth Form Prize for Business Studies are awarded to Adam Rohald. The Interhouse Shield is awarded jointly to Murray and Priestley. I'll take that. Need a photograph of the children. The Sam Duckworth Award for Sixth Form Girls is presented jointly to Chloe and Lauren Dickin. The McAdam Shield is awarded to James Allen. The award for the most exceptional sporting potential in boys' sport is presented to Noah Edwards. And the award for the most exceptional sporting potential in girls' sport and the Lower Sixth Form Prize for Chemistry are awarded to Danielle Tan. Upper Sixth Form prizes. The prize for Economics is awarded to Edward McKenna. The prize for English is awarded to Lola Chikali. And the prize for Government and Politics is awarded to Jack Adler. The prize for Physical Education is awarded to Jonah Rose. The prize for Psychology is awarded to Rihanna Lally. And the prize for Spanish is awarded to Leah Reina Faria. Lower Sixth Form prizes. The prize for Art is awarded to Arabella O'Wide. The prize for Biology is awarded to Isabella Miles. The prize for Classical Civilization is awarded to Maya Zloof. The prize for Computer Science is awarded to Ali Reza Shabanverki. The prize for Design Technology is awarded to Ivy He. The prize for Drama is awarded to Eloan Wode. The prize for economics is awarded to Noah Tackerberry. The prize for English is awarded to Victor Kimani. The prize for English as an additional language is awarded to Ivan Eremenko. The prize for French is awarded to Ekaterina Yushkina. And the prize for further mathematics is awarded to Runlin Chen. The prize for German is awarded to Anton Miaka. And prizes for government and politics, mathematics and religious studies are awarded to Robert Ebner-Stadt. The prize for Latin is awarded to Gillis MacDonald. The prize for physics is awarded to Elliot Forrest. The prize for psychology is awarded to Aisha Aliu. And the prize for Spanish is awarded to Federico Singh. Fifth form prizes. The Academic Endeavour Award and the prize for Geography are awarded to Ruth Hartness. The prize for Classical Civilization, a scholarship for history and German, and an honorary scholarship for sport are awarded to Agnes Kay. The prize for Computer Science is awarded to Carolina Samur. The prize for Drama and an exhibition for drama are awarded to Samuel Smith. The prize for English is awarded to Luke Speed. The prize for English as an additional language and a scholarship for chemistry and mathematics are awarded to Asal Shahed. The prize for French and an exhibition for French are awarded to Lara Kapati. The prize for German is awarded to Giacomo Hedel. The prize for Information Technology and an exhibition for Computer Science are awarded to Sammy Matthews. The prize for Latin and an exhibition for chemistry are awarded to Nikhil Shah. The prize for religious studies is awarded to Holly Vaswani. The prize for science and an exhibition for sport are awarded to Annabelle O'Carroll. Sixth form scholarships. A scholarship for computer science is awarded to Jaden Herman. A scholarship for English and Religious Studies is awarded to Louis Yeager. A scholarship for Government and Politics, History and Sport are awarded to Antonia Bergman. Scholarships for sport are awarded to Raphael Verona Blackstad, Alistair Lechartier-Ruta, Liam Marshall, Rosie Perry, Renee Regis, Ethan Said, Daniel Sinnott, and Alice Worthington. Honorary scholarships for sport are awarded to Hugh Morrison and Sebastian Tolosa Sana. Exhibitions for computer science are awarded to Adam Barnsdale and Joshua Singer. Exhibitions for French are awarded to Max Shukov, Christopher Stobart, and Mustafa Bilal. An exhibition for mathematics is awarded to Ose Mike Aigbe. Exhibitions for physics are awarded to Luke Davis and Nicholas Wright. Exhibitions for religious studies are awarded to Joshua Miller, Blake Musaef, and Frankie Murray. And last but not least, an exhibition for sport is awarded to Adam Evans. And that concludes the list of prize winners. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I just ask that we could give one more round of applause for those winners who I think did a fantastic job today. Thank you. It now gives me great pleasure to invite Mr. Wray to address us.
Quite poignantly, I was a very small boy at Belmont when I first came to this great school and this wonderful estate, because this is not just a series of pictures, this is a wonderful estate, and we're so lucky to be here. And the reason I came here, because we were shepherded over from Belmont, because the Queen was here. So I think roughly over there, if we were outside, that's where I sat down to watch the Queen when she planted that tree that's been referred to. So it's quite poignant to be back here again. We're all very lucky, as we all know, to be here at a great school. But I think there's a greater bit of luck, which is to be born in this country or live in this country. If you were born on the plains of Ethiopia, believe you me, it'd be quite tough to become an entrepreneur. We're lucky to be here. And we can all name dozens of countries around this world where we'd rather not be. And this country is free and a democracy. And it annoys me that we so often criticize it. And I use as a comparison, well, do we hear James Dyson criticizing his products, saying how bad they were and the problems they've had? No. He talks his products up, and we should talk this country up. It's far too easy to criticize. It's pretty damn difficult to create, but creating is far more important. Somebody once said, any old fool can criticize, condemn, or complain. And most fools do. To me, that says a lot. I've made many, many mistakes in my life. And I'm still making them. But don't worry, youngsters. Don't worry about making mistakes. The only person who didn't make a mistake didn't do anything. That's part of it. And the other thing I wish I'd understood decades and decades ago is the most simple thing in the world. The most important thing in the world is to be happy. Be happy. Find something you want to do in life. Find something you've got a passion for. And just be happy. And if I reverse that and say, if you're unhappy doing something, if you dread Mondays or whatever, if you're unhappy doing something, you're not going to be any good at it. You're not going to be any good at it. So it's very simple. Find something in life you really want to do and be happy. Be happy. And there's so many things you learn as you go along the way. And obviously caring for other people is one of them. Because people in their 20s today, I think, are marvelous. They care about the community. They care about the environment. I didn't. Didn't concern me one iota then. Does today. Didn't then. So people are better. They're better. And there's a wonderful, wonderful lady who I always quote called Pat Summitt, who was a great netball coach in the US. And she said, people really don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And to me, that says it all. I saw that and I thought, wow. Because if you care about people and they know you care, they'll go 100 miles. And the other thing is because nothing happens without people. Good people make things happen. Give people your trust. Tell people you trust them. Yes, a few people will let you down, but people respond to trust. Again, they'll go 100 miles. If you care, if they know you care and they know you trust, makes huge, huge difference. Sport. Well, when I set off in sport with Saracens about 27 years ago now, I did it because I love sport. I didn't realize that I was going to go on one of the greatest learning lessons of my life. I was learning about team, learning about people being together, people caring for each other, learning about family, learning that there's no limit to what you can achieve, provided you're prepared to let someone else take the credit. And that's the essence of team. You don't have to do it yourself. Let someone else take the credit. Find people, and I don't think this happens in large companies generally, find people who are better than you are. Don't find people who are worse than you are. Find people who are better than you are, because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. My life, I was running a small newsletter business. I didn't quite see where we were going. And I happened to meet this guy who had a studio in St. John's Wood. And they were doing a pop promo for Adam and the Ants. And this was at the time when Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen, did the first ever pop promo. Now, it sounds ridiculous today. You'll laugh today. But in those days, I thought, wow, that visual message, that's so powerful. It sounds ridiculous today, but it wasn't then. So we merged the businesses, and I got another shock. He was much, much better than me. And that was tough, because I'd always run my own little business. And I now discovered this bloke was so much better than me. And I was right, because that little company went on to become Carlton Television under him, which held the London franchise for TV. I then thought, well, I'm pretty good at property, so I'll try that. I wasn't, of course. But the market was very kind to me, and we bought a West End property company. And then we bought a small merchant bank called Singer and Friedlander. And the poignancy of that was where 17 years earlier I got my first job at 35 quid a week. So that was quite cool. That was quite cool. But I then discovered somebody who's an old Mahillian called Nick Leslaw, who really did know about property, as has been alluded to. And then for the next 30 years, and you can see how by now I'm shedding short-termism and becoming very long-term. And I'll go into that as to why that's so important. And under Nick, with me following, we built up property companies over the next 30 years. And in the late 90s, just to finish the story, well, not finish it, it goes on, hopefully, but I bumped into a guy who came up 4 flights of stairs. And he was quite a fat chap, so he was puffing and blowing when he got to the top. And he said, would you like to invest in a pizza company? I don't think I'd even eaten a pizza in the late 90s. But I'd worked out that Domino's had 95 branches then here, and in America there was 4,500. So it's not difficult to think, well, But again, the important thing was we found a great person to run it called Stephen Hemsley. And under him, for the next 17 years, we built up Domino's, him doing the work, me cashing in. And Stephen's gone on now, and he's now building another company up called Franchise Brands, and I'm still on his coattails, which is where I like to be. But again, what it really illustrates is how important it is to get a really good person at the top, because the fish always stinks from the head. Don't blame people down here. Don't blame people on the shop floor. It's the person at the top. And whether it's a school, whether it's a team, and by the way, companies should be teams of people working together. You've got to get that guy or girl at the top right. Entrepreneurs, obviously it won't take a genius to work out that I'm very pro-entrepreneurial behavior. And there's actually a very simple reason. Every company that has ever existed at one stage was started by an entrepreneur. Marks and Spencer's, General Motors, Unilever. At one stage, they were all started by an entrepreneur who took a risk. And I think the concept of risk is so important. And I would argue this, wouldn't I? One of the problems of government and public service is they've never taken a risk in their lives, so they don't get it. But without risk, you won't create a world. Someone has to take a risk. And Again, I don't think it'll surprise anyone, but I actually love small companies. And the reason I love small, medium-sized companies is they've got passion. People know each other. They care. They've got conviction. And it's exciting. And I think short-termism is so sad to see it when people sort of say, well, we can do something in the next couple of months or so, because what matters is the journey you go on, building companies, creating things, because that's what employs people, creates wealth, creates opportunity, and it's exciting being with people who have real passion. Young people, predominantly, have real passion for what they're doing. And big companies, you sort of lose it. It becomes more bureaucratic. So it is, and of course, without little acorns, you'll never get any big oaks. So it's pretty important stuff. Not everything's right, of course, because, for example, today in large companies, you've got CEOs' salaries that have gone up enormously in the last 10 or 15 years, and their workers haven't. Not going to work. People have to know that something's fair, that something makes sense. That doesn't make sense. I mean, to me, if you're a leader, the idea is to take the troops to the top of the hill with you, not leave them abandoned at the bottom. And that's happening too often, as we're now reading about. And that has to change, because it's not fair. It's not fair. Shifting subjects slightly, about 13 years ago, Brendan Venter, a medical doctor, came to Saracens to run it. Really hard Afrikaner who'd played in the 1995 President Mandela World Cup final. And I thought he would say, we're going to be really tough, we're going to get really fit, and we're going to hammer them. He didn't. He said, we're going to create some wonderful memories together. We're going to get to know each other's families. Yes, we're going to train hard, but we're going to get to know each other's families. We're going to get to love each other. We're going to get to share things, and we're going to create some wonderful memories. And that changed the culture of Saracens forever. And beforehand, we'd won virtually nothing. After that, we won quite a lot. But it was about the culture. And culture is a funny word, because everybody tries to express what it is, but you can't pick it up. You can't pick culture up and take it off with you, because it doesn't exist in that sense. But I do believe that any organization without a culture, who doesn't know what they stand for, will not be a good organization, will not be a good team. It's that important. And from that, as has been alluded to before, came a group of young people working for the Saracens Foundation who just have a passion to help other people and look after disadvantaged kids, autistic kids. I mean, the work with the Feltham Young Offenders Prison has been amazing. The reoffending rate is 15%, as opposed to a national average of 70%. Now, 70% roughly means that you go to prison, you leave prison, you go back. It's an unending cycle. It doesn't work. We can't afford it. Apart from the fact it's destroying individuals' lives. And they've achieved all that. And then the Saracens High School, as again has been alluded to, and luckily I was here for the first ever girls' game when Saracens High School and Mill Hill played on top field. And that was great to see. It's also great to see, I hope, Saracens and Mill Hill cooperating more, sport, education, that they go naturally together. And that high school now, and I think I'm correct in saying that we are still the only club in the country who has ever created a school. And about almost 1,000 pupils will be there. And they have a great headmaster, which is a prerequisite. Going back to my fish stinks from the head thing, he doesn't stink. And he's created a great staff who are passionate. And if I may say so, like here, like this school, you need people, you need a great person at the top, maybe, great person at the top, who by the fact that they care so much inspires other people, because if you get the person at the top wrong, it doesn't self-correct down here, no. And that's, and schools particularly, you know, if you get a staff who really care about what they're doing, my gosh, that works, my gosh. So, and this is addressed to young people. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, why should anybody else believe in you? Believe in yourself, find something you want to do and be happy. That's priority number one, because then you'll be good at something. Then you'll find that you'll do really well and you're happy. And I can't think of anything more important than that. And there's another nice phrase, which is, if you think you can, or you think you can't, you're probably right. Think about it. So think you can, because you can. So I'm just going to end now with a quote from Theodore Roosevelt, who was the youngest ever president of the United States. I think you can tell what I'm about from what he said and why I think it's so marvelous. He said, "It's not the critic who counts. It's the man in the arena who, if he fails greatly, whose position will never be amongst those tired and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat." So I hope all you youngsters know a few more victories than defeat, but whatever you do, give it a go, because you can. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a truly inspirational speech. Thank you. Can I please ask the senior monitors to come and give the vote of thanks? Maeve Allen, Ed O'Keefe, and CC Wu.
Good afternoon, pupils, parents, teachers, and distinguished guests. I would like to start by taking the opportunity to thank Nigel Wray for taking time out of his busy schedule to come and speak to us today. Mr. Wray, the commitment you have shown Saracens Rugby Club over the past 27 years, taking them from the dawn of professionalism to world success, while still managing to dedicate time to charities such as the Saracens High School, is truly a testament to your integrity and commitment. Values which I'm sure were significantly developed during your time at Mill Hill. We, as a school, can certainly take pride in knowing that as an old Mill Hillian, you have achieved so much, and you have done so with such admirable humility, which is one of the core values that you instilled in the ethos of Saracens Rugby Club. Integrity, I believe, perfectly embodies the qualities instilled in us as Mill Hillians from the moment that we arrive at the foundation. It encompasses a multitude of different values: being true to yourself and honest to others, being able to admit your mistakes and flaws, and having the courage to stand up for what is right, even when those around you may not be willing to do so. As a relatively hard-headed and stubborn individual, being able to admit my mistakes and recognize my flaws has been something which I've shied away from in the past. But as Mr. Wray pointed out, the person who never made a mistake never did anything. However, it was by virtue of my experiences at Mill Hill that I have learnt to admit my shortcomings whilst being open about my struggles, which has allowed me to embrace my fears head on. So if you are feeling overwhelmed by the pressures or stresses of the academic year, turn seeking help into a strength. Fortunately, we are surrounded by an amazing family of school staff, teachers, teammates, and peers who will all give their support and are not afraid to tell us when we're wrong or being irrational. Actually, a few of them enjoy that part of their job a bit too much. My time at Mill Hill has allowed me to grow as a person and realize both my strengths and weaknesses, whilst also keeping and enhancing my personal qualities. I am sure that I am not alone in this experience. Now, as a senior monitor, I look forward to passing on the lessons I have learned to those in the lower school, just as my predecessors have done for my year group. Thank you.
At Mill Hill, we have many great examples of leadership, both from pupils and staff. 5 years ago, when I joined the school, I looked at those leaders with awe and admiration, the ones that could command a room and who people went to in times of need. 5 years later, this school has taught me that leaders are not born, they are created and mentored by those before them. Here at Mill Hill, creating leaders is at the core of the foundation. Throughout my time here, I've learned that leadership is about communicating with your team and thinking of the benefit for everyone. It's about having ambitions and setting goals to get there. These attributes not only make you a good leader, but also a good person who will use their education and resilience to make the world a better place. These are the people that Mill Hill School aims to create. Alongside these, in my journey through the school, the best quality I have gained is the ability to learn from my mistakes. In both academics and socially, understanding where you went wrong and learning from the experience is the most important and integral characteristic to help you and your community. You are only as successful as your current habits. If there is one thing to take away from Mill Hill, it's to make mistakes today, learn from them tomorrow, and grow from the experience, and hopefully try to complete that before your A-level examinations.
Despite being the smaller community in Mill Hill, Borders are no less of a united front. Coming from an incredibly diverse range of backgrounds, it is truly nothing short of a miracle that such a tight-knit community has been formed. Upon joining Mill Hill last year, I felt almost immediately at home. But beyond that, I witnessed firsthand how seriously different opinions and values are taken and how much respect was shown to every member of the community. Although academic demands imposed upon pupils can be daunting, I think that Mill Hill takes the extra step to encourage pupils to branch out and engage in activities outside of classroom requirements. This hones our ability to take initiative, and I believe that being proactive is a skill that will benefit students far beyond their journey here at Mill Hill. Promoting long-term change has always been one of Mill Hill's goals. To do that, pupil voice is amplified and encouraged, and not only are their ideas encouraged and frequently implemented, further discussions are also facilitated through the concept of pupil-led societies and clubs, where meetings are conducted around subjects that personally fascinate pupils. With such a varying range of cultural backgrounds, spreading awareness of their individuality and uniqueness is something of utmost importance. I have grown alongside my achievements here at Mill Hill, and I hope that through my position as senior boarding monitor, I am able to reassure younger pupils of their importance and to not only encourage, but also nurture change within each individual. On behalf of the senior monitors, we want to congratulate the class of 2022 on their impressive results and wish them all the best on their exciting next step. And to the current pupils, good luck with your exams and the rest of your academic year. Thank you.
Thank you for those. Can I please ask Cece to come back and present a gift to our guest of honour? Thank you. Right. It remains for me only to thank every member of both the academic and support staff for all their hard work and commitment to this great school, but also to thank the parents for your continued support, expressed as it is in so many different ways. That concludes the formal part of today. I very much hope you're all going to stay for the barbecue lunch on the head's lawn. And can I just ask everyone to remain seated while the head and the head's guests leave? Thank you.